Hi there guys, it's Chris here with selfmadenewbie.com, and in this video I'm going to teach you 6 Twitter engagement hacks that pros use that are generally only found in paid courses that you can use in order to increase engagement on your account and get more likes, follows, retweets and all that good stuff. So before we dive into all that, it really helps out the channel if you drop a like on this video, hit subscribe, turn on that bell if you want to be updated with new videos like this coming out all the time to help you to find success online. So the point of building a Twitter up is a point of syndication, or really what I call the top of your funnel, where you can get traffic and get engagement in order to later build a more personal audience and customers. In order to do that, you need to think backwards, and in order to get people, in order to get customers, you really need eyeballs on your content, on your social media content, or as I've heard people call it, you need to know how to day trade attention. The more eyeballs you get on your content, the more engagement you get, the more shares you get, the more Twitter boosts you up, the more followers you get, the more audience you get, the more customers you get. So let's get into my top 6 engagement hacks for Twitter. The first one is a classic: replying to bigger accounts. Now, everybody says this, but there is kind of a process to it, and there is a way you can maximize doing this. The first thing you're going to need to do is find bigger accounts in your niche. Now, I wouldn't go for, depending on your niche, I wouldn't go for the ones that have millions of followers. Look for, you know, somewhere between 20, 50,000, that's kind of a good number. And when you're replying to those tweets, you need to remember a couple of points. You need to, number one, give value. They need to be like well thought out, because what you want is for other people to see those tweets and like it and maybe retweet it. In order to do that, you also need to word your tweets in a way that where it can stand on its own as a tweetable tweet, if that makes sense. So for example, here's an example of me doing it wrong. In this tweet, someone has said something and I've replied with agreed, and then I've kind of added to what they've said. Now, this won't stand on its own as a good tweet because of the simple fact that I put agreed. If he or someone else retweets that, it's gonna just come up as agreed, blah, blah, blah. And people read it and they're not gonna know the context, they're not gonna know what I'm agreeing to. Now, in this example, this person has put across an idea, put across a tweet, and I've built on what they've said, but my tweet, as you can see, could stand alone on its own. Now, do obviously relate your tweet to what they have said, but just tweak the wording so that it can potentially stand on its own, because a lot of people are going to be looking at the replies in those bigger account tweets, and if yours stands alone, maybe even if you say what they've said a bit better than they have, it's highly possible that you'll be retweeted as well, and then that's your tweet on other accounts getting eyeballs on it. The second tip is called trend jacking. Now, trend jacking involves you looking at what is trending on Twitter and looking for those hashtags and then applying that hashtag to your niche and something you generally talk about. This is in Gary Vee's book, Jab, 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 Left Hook. He talks about trend jacking. This is where I got the idea from. This is gonna take some imagination on your part, and I found that this is better really to get likes and engagement on a particular tweet as opposed to getting kind of loyal followers in your niche. But just know that there is this concept called trend jacking. Every now and then look at what's trending and see if you can kind of hijack one of those tweets that a lot of people will be searching for and apply it to what you generally tweet about. The third tip is manual quote tweeting. So obviously you know that on Twitter you can do a retweet, and this is essentially quoting what someone has tweeted and you're putting it on your account, right? So a manual quote retweet is when you don't retweet, but you search for a user that you might know that posts very good tweets, and you find that tweet, you copy it, you paste it, you tweet it, and then underneath you tag them, like you can see on your screen. This is kind of what it looks like. And for me, I think this builds on the ego of a lot of bigger accounts. They will often retweet these. Obviously, they get notified because they're tagged in your post, and they do like to retweet. They do want to let their audience know that other people are talking about them. So this is often a pretty cool way to get retweeted by bigger accounts, purely because they want to show social proof to other people. So you both kind of win, and it's a strategy a lot of people use to good effect. Tip number 4 is creating a shout out list. Now, this is similar to the last one, And on your screen right now, you can really see what I mean. And basically what you do is you find your favorite accounts doing different things, and you tag them all, and you create this kind of list. So this person is good at e-com, this person is good at affiliate marketing, this guy's good at crypto investing. And what this does is it kind of similar thing to the last tip, quote, retweeting. But it gives you more of a chance to be retweeted by one of these accounts. I see these shout out lists being shared all the time. I've seen people use them in engagement groups as well. So you can try this as well. I would use them a bit more sparingly because bigger accounts do know that people are using this strategy. So they go and check your Twitter profile and they see that every tweet you do is a shout out. They're gonna think, oh, okay, this guy's just, you know, trying to get followers. But every once in a while you can do it. Just gives you more of a chance. If you list 10 people, you're more likely, you have more of a chance, I guess, to be shared by one or a couple of them. Tip number 5 is knowing how to source tweets. Obviously, the more you tweet, the more cool things you put out more often, the more chance you're gonna have of being liked and shared. Twitter sees that you're active, and that is a good thing. Now, you might see bigger accounts and think to yourself, how do these accounts always have something cool to say? How are they always able to put out like 20 cool tweets a day, and you're sitting there struggling to think? You don't know how to give inspiration, you're just out of ideas. Well, a lot of them are getting help, and one tool a lot of people are using is called Tweet Hunter. Tweet Hunter is a Twitter scheduler, so people, like I just mentioned, they can optimize the time they tweet so it gets the most engagement, but it also allows them to search tweets in certain niches or whatever niche they choose and get inspiration from tweets that have already proven to work and get high engagement. So they can either copy those tweets or at least paraphrase them, put them into their own words, and obviously they've already proven to work. So, you know, if they work once, they're gonna work again. And this is how a lot of bigger accounts are able to just churn out tweet after tweet, cool tweet after cool tweet, and other people are left scratching their heads. If you do want to use Tweet Hunter, do click the link in the description, and if there are discounts available, they will automatically be applied. There's a free trial, so I would check that out if you are that kind of person who's stuck for tweet ideas. Tip number 6 is engagement groups. Now, engagement groups are really gonna be the thing that give you a boost if you are a brand new Twitter account. It sucks when you're posting tweets and they just seem to be going out into the ether. You're getting zero engagement and you're left scratching your head like, you know, what is the point of this? How do I get people to follow me if they don't know who I am? Engagement groups, I would definitely recommend. The way they work is you join the group. It's usually a Discord. They have a moderated system set up. Generally what you do is you'll see channels within the Discord where a bunch of people are tweeting. You have to go through and like their tweets, then put your tweets, and you'll get a bunch of likes on yours. They'll have a retweet channel where you have to retweet other people. Usually not as many as you have to engage. Usually it's about, you retweet 5 people, post yours, and then a bunch of people will retweet yours. Usually you get given back more than what you have to give. And in one particular engagement group that I'll mention in just a second, they also have a system for putting yourself on those shout out lists that I mentioned in the 4th point. So being on a shout out list is also a really, really cool way to get engagement. Now, if you want more sales, more of an audience, more followers, you know, again, like I said at the beginning, you got to think backwards. How do you get eyes on your content? Well, you need engagement on your content. And what engagements do is they give you exactly that. So why is engagement good? 1, you're being retweeted by your engagement group, so you're getting more eyeballs on your content that way. 2, Twitter often notifies other accounts. So if a bigger account or another account likes your content, Twitter will often notify people on their kind of follower list that they've liked your content, so then they see your content as well. And Twitter will also often just recommend tweets into different niches that seem to have good engagement. And in the engagement groups I'm in, I generally get anywhere between, you know, 40 to 60 likes very, very, very quickly. That sets me up as a prime candidate for Twitter recommendations, for account recommendations and all that good stuff. So a few people have asked me what groups have I joined, and unfortunately I can't tell you. They are tops. I'm just kidding. I actually joined about half a dozen engagement groups when I started doing this, and I kind of went with the 80-20 principle. So now I'm in 2 engagement groups. The first one is the Smart Money engagement group, and the second one is called Affiliate Grandmasters. If you want to join those groups, there are also links in the description and you can get a discount on those. Currently, you can join one or the other. I find I get equal engagement from both, but I wanted to join 2 just so I can just get extra rocket fuel behind my engagement and grow a lot quicker. So if you want to join those engagement groups, do click the link in the description, and I would definitely recommend that. Otherwise, thanks for checking out the video. Those are my top 6 Twitter engagement hacks. So go forth, get your tweet on, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.